It's Sunday night, August the 4th. I'm James Spann doing a special Sunday night update on Tropical Storm Debby, soon to be Hurricane Debby. Got a whole bunch of questions. We'll try and come up with a whole bunch of answers. Let's go right to the Tampa Bay radar. And Debby seems to be getting her act together. You can see the circulation center is now northwest of Tampa with the system moving almost due north. The maximum sustained winds have increased. It's been a slow increase today. The current sustained winds are at 70 miles per hour. So there's a chance by the next advisory, that's 10 o'clock Central Time tonight, we'll have a minimal hurricane on our hands, and landfall is expected during the day tomorrow. Here's the composite view. The radars all combined across the southeastern states. And again, you can see got a few showers in the outer bands through parts of the Panhandle up into South Georgia, but the core is that zone you see that's north and west of Tampa. And it could be that an eye is trying to form. Some dry air is worked into the system from the west and southwest. That's kind of stopped the or slowed the intensification process today. But if this thing can get a good core going, most likely it will be a hurricane soon. Here's the infrared satellite imagery over the past 8 to 9 hours. And again, you can see those colder colors, the colors of black showing up there. Those are cold cloud tops. And it seems like that core is doing its best to get its act together. So again, everything is pretty much on track. This is the latest visible satellite presentation, taken about 15 minutes ago before the sun goes down. So this is the latest track from the National Hurricane Center. This was issued about 30 minutes ago at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And really, there's no change in thinking here. We have a hurricane warning in effect now from Indian Pass all the way down to the Suwannee River. The area is in red on that map. That's the hurricane warning. And remember, as you look at all these maps, the main impact in terms of wind, rain, storm surge, flooding, freshwater flooding will be along and to the right or to the east of the center. And understand there will be some showers certainly on the left side, the west side, but really not that many. That's that good offshore flow side. And as you look at this map, again, we're getting a lot of questions about Panama City Beach. Panama City Beach is on the good side of the system. It will be breezy, yes. It will be windy tomorrow, and there will be showers, yes, in Panama City. But in terms of anything dangerous, not really. And again, Destin, Fort Walton Beach, Pensacola, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Fort Morgan, Dauphin Island. You're going to be fine. No problems. Again, maybe a shower, a little breezy, but the big problems will be really beginning around Indian Pass, Cape San Blas, St. George Island, Apalachicola, on to the east around the Big Bend. The areas especially in red on that map. Here's a look at the storm surge forecast from the Hurricane Center. The storm surge expected to be 6 to 10 feet from south of Tallahassee down to the Suwannee River. Very significant. Thankfully, that is a relatively sparsely populated part of Florida. But still, people do live there, and this will be a big impact. 4 to 6 feet over to Indian Pass, maybe 1 to 2 feet to Mexico Beach. But again, I really think Tyndall Air Force Base, Mexico Beach, Panama City, west, you're fine. It will be windy. There will be showers, yes. But the big problems, mainly east of Indian Pass, east of St. George Island. And, of course, one of the great concerns here is the rain. This is the latest 7-day rain projection coming from WPC. This is a branch of NOAA, the Weather Prediction Center. And, again, this is problematic. What's going to happen here? This thing's going to slow down as the steering currents kind of collapse. There's a trough that's helping to pull this thing north, and the trough will move on by, leaving a very weak steering current environment. And accordingly, Debby will just meander through the Carolinas and Georgia for days. And a slow-moving tropical system is never a good thing, never. And I know it's hard to read the numbers in here, but the bullseye, Savannah back up toward Hilton Head and Charleston, rain amounts there could be in the 15 to 20-inch category, over 1 foot. And there could be some spots that might make a run at 2 feet of rain. And, of course, it all depends on how this thing behaves once it gets inland. And there are a lot of questions about that, but that's really, I think, the greatest concern here. And if this works out, this could be very serious flooding here for places like Savannah and Charleston and Hilton Head. So be aware of that. Hopefully the track varies a little bit. It's a little farther east than forecast, and maybe it won't be that bad. But you have to make plans based on the current projection, and that is the current projection. Now, once this thing gets inland, what's it going to do? So let's jump to the GFS model. This is Friday. And again, the GFS has been on the concept that this thing is actually going to go into retrogression. It's going to move back to the west. And it's got the remnant low that would be Debby down around Enterprise in South Alabama, with rain over much of Alabama on Friday. But again, the European model says no way. The European model has the thing up there on the North Carolina-Virginia border, with Alabama dry as a bone. And we think that is the right solution. The GFS continues to be an outlier. But again, there's a lot of uncertainty here, but it just seems like it will be a slow, erratic move to the northeast over the week ahead, leaving Alabama pretty much in a dry situation here. So once again, if you're just joining us very quickly, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. I'll be doing the 10 o'clock news over on ABC 3340 on the television side, but just wanted to kind of give you an update on Debby. Almost a hurricane tonight. The maximum sustained winds have increased to 70 miles per hour. And most likely this will be a minimal hurricane and the 10 o'clock advisory. And the center is now northwest of Tampa, moving north at 12 miles per hour. And again, this will be making landfall most likely around the Florida Big Bend region. The areas in red on this map, that's a hurricane warning in effect from Indian Pass over to the Suwannee River. And again, you can see that the landfall will likely come at some point during the day tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning. The remnant circulation comes up toward Valdosta, then towards Savannah, and then up into parts of South Carolina by Friday. And understand that this is basically 5 days of action here. It's just not going to move quickly. And the greatest concern, it's going to be flooding along the path and east of the path. And again, we could see rain amounts in the 15 to 20-inch range around Savannah, Hilton Head, and Charleston. And some big numbers really all the way from Jacksonville up to Virginia Beach, depending on how this thing behaves. And quickly, a peek, you saw the Alabama look. I just wanted to mention, if you're in Dothan, it's got 1.7 inches. I'm not so sure you get that much. I could easily see Dothan getting away with just a little bit, maybe a half inch, but certainly no flooding problems. And again, for Alabama, no real impact at all, other than maybe a few spotty showers over the east and southeast tomorrow, which we'll probably see. But in terms of wind and flooding and all the big problems, that will be east of Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas. And quickly, I thought we'd check the rest of the tropics while we're here tonight. We do note the Hurricane Center has a little X on that tropical wave approaching the Windward Islands and a 30% chance of this becoming a depression or storm over the next 7 days. But this will be a low-latitude system. This will likely come across the Caribbean, winding up, if anything forms. That's a big if. In the Bay of Campeche, it's just something to watch for now. The deep tropics are fairly quiet. So real quick, let's do some radar work while we're going back to this. I thought we'd kind of work our way to the north. So let's take a look at the Tallahassee radar presentation of Debby. And again, you can clearly see the what looks to be an eye trying to form northwest of Tampa. And again, you can see these far outer bands affecting parts of the Florida Panhandle. Panama City's had a few showers, got a few showers along 30A. And again, nothing especially heavy. And remember, that's the good side. That's the offshore flow side over there. So Panama City Beach, Rosemary Beach, Fort Walton, Destin, Navarre, Pensacola, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Fort Morgan, Dauphin Island. We just don't expect any problems there. It'll be breezy tomorrow with a chance of showers, yes. But again, the big problems will begin really around this area here. And just to kind of get your bearings straight, this is Cape Sandblast right here. And this is St. George Island right here. So again, Cape Sandblast over here, St. George Island here. And the problems will be from those 2 points, Cape Sandblast, Indian Pass, Appalach, St. George Island, and on east. where there could be a lot of wind and rain. And really and truly, most likely, the most severe flooding problems, the highest wind will be east of St. George Island, east of Cape Sandblast. But again, it depends on how this thing ultimately comes in. A little jog to the left or right can make a big difference in the weather there. So again, let's quickly work our way up north. We'll go to, let's go to Fort Novacell here. And again, you can see in Alabama, we got a few little spotty showers passing through parts of East and South Alabama. Got a few as far north as St. Clair County. Got some in Montgomery County. Little showers to the west of I-65. And again, those are moving back off to the west following the circulation around Debby. But again, we'll go back to the Tallahassee radar, and that's going to really provide the better view of this thing. And there we go. And you can see the system churning away there in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. So again, that'll do it for this update. Hopefully we answered a lot of your questions. And again, for those that are just joining us here, I had a vacation week last week, and of course, there's really never a vacation in weather because weather never stops. But we'll be back to doing the 2 videos per day. We'll do the next one here tomorrow morning about 5:15 Central. And of course, we'll be posting updates on the social platforms. And again, join us this evening on ABC 3340 News at 10 o'clock. I'll be there in Studio A. Again, next video here early tomorrow morning by 5:15. Thanks for watching. Have a great Sunday night, and God bless.